Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today's card project features a funky halftone pattern cling stamp. I love the whole look of a halftone pattern, and I had a fun idea to create a couple slimline cards. I'm only gonna make one because, well, you'll see what happens. I just want you to know I have nothing against purple. Really, I love purple. It'll all make sense. So stick around, my halftone slimline card is coming up next. So here's a look at the halftone pattern in action. And I'm just going to create a really simple card for my mama today. And I've used this stamp set already just in recent videos, but I've got some more ideas that I'm excited to share. So let's take a look at the products. Here's the cling stamp that I'm going to be using today. And I had this idea to make two cards out of one stamp because I have these mini slimline rectangles and I thought it would be cool to do a little emboss resist with a rainbow. And yes, purple is in the rainbow, so let's keep our fingers crossed. It's not going to be positive. I'm going to use a stamp set that I've used before, and I will pop a card up to that video as well, but I love that stamp set, and so I wanted to make another card for my mama. To use the cling stamp with my MISTI, I always take out the insert and then place the cling stamp in cling side down. It sticks right in there. And then I'll take my cardstock, and this I've trimmed to be about 6.5 square, just to cover the whole area of the stamp. I'll put some low-tack tape on the paper and then pick it up with the MISTI door. Ooh, that MISTI door is a little dirty. I could use a look and a promise. This is just how I like to stamp with cling stamps. So I'll prep the area with my embossing magic to remove static and oil. Then I'm going to ink up my stamp really well with my clear embossing sticky ink. I also noticed my pad's a little dry and it's starting to fall apart on me. I've got another one on order because this is some of my favorite clear embossing ink. I love it, but we'll just ink this up really well and press the paper into the stamp. And I'll use my stamping tool. This is from Stamper's Secret. It's called a Debbie tool. This just allows me to add nice even pressure while keeping my hands in a really neutral position. If you have any wrist or hand issues, having a tool like this really takes out some of that pain and pressure that you can feel. So I love it. And of course, because nothing moved, we're going to stamp it again. Beauty of that stamp positioner tool, I tell you. Great impressions all the time. I'll just wipe this down really quick with my stamp chamois, pop it back in my little, it's actually a salt holder, salt cellar, but it works great for holding your damp cloths because it has a little bit of gap in it, so it never gets too smelly. I'm going to sprinkle on fine detail clear because what we're going to do is preserve that beautiful Neenah white cardstock below when we do our emboss resist. So I'll get a good coating all over the paper, let that sit for a minute, and then carefully let it slide off. It's a lot of surface, so I'm always a little careful so that powder does not go everywhere. But now you can see that wonderful halftone pattern. Good to go. I'll funnel my powder back into the container, and there's always a little that falls out, so I just keep a Swiffer cloth handy off to the side, wipe it up, and we're ready to heat emboss. I've got this sped up quite a bit because, well, it's, you know what I'm doing, right? I'm melting the powder, and it takes a while to work your way around. There's also a little bit of schmutz on the paper, and I have no idea what that's from. It just kind of showed up, so there you go. Schmutz. That's going to be all right. All right. See that shine? Powder has been melted. So now we can move on to a basic emboss resist. I am using my new foam blending tops to my little wooden handle tools because these have been really fun. This is kind of a new discovery for me. Never used foam tools that much, and now I've been using them like a banshee. So I'm going to create a rainbow. And I'm using my Distress Oxides more and more. It's funny because several weeks ago, someone asked me, how come you never use your oxides? And I don't know if you do this, but I definitely go in phases. So I was in this regular Distress ink phase and just kind of forgot about the oxides, and that's what happens. Now recently, in all of my videos over the past several weeks, I've been oxide crazy. It's kind of this or that, right? Whatever you're feeling, you use, and then you're happy with your choices. So I'm just blending down and wiping away the ink that pools on top of that dot pattern. And then I brought in the Salty Ocean, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think this was too dark for what I had envisioned in my rainbow. I wish I would have gone with something a little lighter, like maybe even tumbled glass. So I went back over it with the green to try to, work it out. But here it is. Here she is. Ah, purple for the win. I really do love purple, but a lot of times in my rainbows, I just stop short. Like I stick with 5 colors instead of 6 colors. And so purple oftentimes gets the short end of the stick. It is not meant to impugn or offend. Purple, I love you, but I'm not going to show you much love today. You'll see what happens. Wiping off all the excess, and now we're going to set that aside to fully dry. Once it's dry, I cut it in half, took the second largest panel from that mini slimline set, and I cut out 2 panels. That one, which I thought looked fantastic, and then I came into this one and I realized, oh, Kath, if you're going to incorporate the whole thing, you forgot to ink blend the full Monty, right? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to remedy that, because here I have 2 great panels, right? One is just a warm side of the rainbow and one is a cool side. But I think the one on the left looks better. I don't know if I just picked the wrong color. The blue, like I said, kind of threw me off. But as soon as I started blending here, I went way too dark and realized you didn't go to the edge on the other. Oh, it just started to fall apart. But there's the circle, and we're moving on. We're gonna make 1 full card. So this cardstock is trimmed to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. I marked it at 3 1/8 where it needs to fold, because that's the size of our slimline products at Simon Says Stamp. They are 3 1/8 wide by 6 1/4 tall, or flip that measurement. So my folded down card needs to be 3 1/8 by 6 1/4. I grabbed some pink cardstock. I think this is Dusty Rose from Gina K Designs. And I'm stamping on one of the moms because I thought this color looks really good with the Kitsch Flamingo that I used and the orange. It just kind of has a nice little harmony, if you will. So I'm stamping down clear embossing ink as well here. I'm going to hit it twice because, if you can do it in the same place and get perfect ink, why not? Why not? It's a question I always ask myself. Now here I'll add white powder. Gonna let that sit, add a little more, and we'll have a nice crisp mom on the pink cardstock. So I'll get my heat tool warmed up and melt this powder. This is going to be a really simple finished card, but you know what? I think when you have a funky pattern, especially a funky graphic pattern, that's okay. I've got the coordinating die taped into place with some low tack tape. I'm going to run that through the old Platinum 6 Spellbinders machine, pop it out, and I have a fantastically die cut mom greeting. I opened up the card base because I thought I want to add some of the greetings to the inside here. I like the greetings in this set a lot. I think they're fun. I think they're pretty honest. And so I put these together. I'm going to ink up with some Simon Intense Black, just simple black on the inside I thought would be nice. Get the ink on there, and then we'll stamp it down. I love this greeting. Thanks for keeping me alive all those years. And let's be real, you're still doing it today. All right, stamped, the inside of the card, done and done. That tape is just to hold it closed. I won't send it that way. I've got some foam tape on the back of my halftone blended pattern, and I will pop that up, and you can see the perfect margin space for the 3 1/8 by 6 1/4 card. Then I've got some foam squares on the back of the mom greeting. I will line that up right smack dab in the center and pop it down. And that's it. I'm not going to add anything else to this card. I love the simplicity of it, right? You get that cool halftone pattern, a greeting that seems to kind of grow out of the pink on the left. I love it. The other thing I love is you can buy these mini slimline envelopes from Simon Says Stamp, and your card pops right in. You don't need any extra postage to stick a stamp on it, and you're ready to go. So that's my card. I love how it turned out. All right, that's a look at what we did today. And of course, don't worry about the other panel, right? That just, not every panel is going to be a winner, but I really love this halftone cling stamp, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I think it turned out really cute, and it's so little. And then of course, having that awesome greeting on the inside, icing on the cake. And don't feel bad about the piece that I didn't use, because that's going right into the box where my hubby pulls out my little samples to make his shopping lists on for when he does his weekly Target run. That man has the prettiest shopping lists in all the land. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.